Beautiful. Okay. So there are obviously many different ways to get around and commute to campus, but for today's presentation, we will be focusing on Metro and their discount programs, driving and how to save money on gas, and then carpooling and splitting the cost with your fellow students or colleagues, all as alternatives to getting to campus. So before we get into our options, I want to first, of course, address the importance of safety. Some safety tips we want to share when traveling really anywhere is to always be aware of your surroundings, compose yourself calmly and confidently, try not to flash any valuable items. It's important to familiarize yourself with your commute before leaving your home and maybe even having an emergency plan set up just in case. If possible, even traveling with a friend or colleague. And then if you want to even check in with trusted loved ones or peers regarding your whereabouts. Listed here are some apps where you can share your location with trusted individuals to help ensure your safety. I personally use Google Maps shared location with my roommate and a couple of family members and friends. Now, I'm not saying you need to share your location with everybody and their granddad, but selecting a few people you trust never hurts in case of an emergency. All right, so now we'll watch a brief video on how to use Google Maps shared location feature.
Sorry, I don't know if it's just me, but I'm not getting any audio.
Sorry about that. Um, Let me see here. Thankfully, this video it just had background music, but what about now? Okay, sorry about that, everybody. Let me see. Geez, everyone. Of course, I tried this earlier and it worked. Okay, so sorry about the audio. I'll just go ahead and tell you that basically with Google Share Maps or Google Maps, you can share your location with individuals, even if it's just for an hour. You can edit it if you want to share it with them indefinitely or for an hour, and then you would just need to go to your Google Maps under your profile and then under shared location, and you can go ahead and set that. And since we're having issues with the audio, I will go ahead and add all of these videos to the link tree, which is available at the end of the presentation. And you can go ahead and watch these videos for your reference in the future. So I'll go ahead and skip this other one. Life 360, just a quick summary, is also another um, location sharing app. You can download this one as well, and it has very similar features to Google Maps. Google Maps, sometimes I have an Android, so it works perfectly with mine. Sometimes I know my friends that have Apple devices have a harder time with that, but they also have Find Your Friends as well too. But this one, Life 360, is an app that both iOS and Androids can use. All right, great. So now we'll be talking about Metro, my personal favorite transportation option. So Metro is LA's public transportation agency that provides transportation in the form of buses, trains, light rails, and subways all around LA County. Most metro stops are ADA friendly, but it is important to plan accordingly ahead of time to locate which stations and stops have accessible features because unfortunately, not all of them do. But I do personally take the metro here to campus as much as I can, and I've honestly really grown to love taking it. I get to read my books and not spend as much time being upset over traffic and the horrible drivers. And with one bus and two short train rides away, I am here. So I just wanted to show you real quick what the walking path is like from over here, the Willowbrook Rosa Parks A line station, and this, I believe the C line is this one up here that's on the freeway, the 105. But they both are walkable all the way here to campus. Now, if I'm, walking a leisurely pace, it takes about 11 to 12 minutes. But if I need to, if I'm running a little behind, walk a little faster, it takes me about like 7 to 8 minutes to walk to campus. So anyway, there are a few different programs Metro provides that may be helpful for students and staff members to utilize when getting to campus. College students can actually get a discount through the College Vocational TAP Card program. You would first need to apply, and then once you're approved, you would purchase a physical TAP card or download the TAP Card app. And then you would select the student rate and then load your card with money for your ride. And then you'll be able to use the Metro. And if you are interested in that, you can scan this QR code here and it will take you to the application. All of these QR codes and the videos, like I said, will be available to everybody in the end if in case you don't get to scan this in time. Another program is the LIFE program, which stands for Low Income Fare is Easy. If you are eligible and then approved, which I think the requirements is determined by your annual household income and a few other requirements. With this program, you can receive unlimited free rides for the first 90 days, which is about 3 months, and then a subsequent 20 free rides every month after that. So again, if you are interested in this program, you're more than welcome to scan this QR code here for more information on how to apply. Any questions regarding these so far before we move on? I can check the chat as well too. Great. Okay. So moving on to Metro Micro, this is another Metro program that can be cost effective. It's a ride hailing service ridden in these Sprinter van vehicles. They are meant for short local trips if you are within the Metro Micro zones. So currently the rate is $1 per ride for students for the first 6 months. You would just need to download the Metro Micro app, and then you would need a Metro card as well. Again, either a physical or a digital one. And again, these, just because we're having audio issues, This video here, I again will provide it to everybody. Just a little kind of day in the life using a Metro Micro, how to utilize the service. It kind of walks through. Actually, I don't think there's any audio to this one, so we'll actually play this one. And then this other video is just a testimonial from a person that uses Micro pretty often. Again, I'll go ahead and provide that to everybody at the end. Okay. So here are the zones for Metro Micro, which ranges from zones in Pasadena to us here in Watson Compton neighborhoods. This red highlighted section is the zone for our area here around campus, which is the Watts Compton zone. And to be honest, the service seemed a little vague to me when I was researching it. So I actually went ahead and downloaded the app myself, which you can also do by, again, scanning this QR code here, and tried troubleshooting it myself. And we will be reviewing the pros and cons of Metro shortly. But when I tried to book a ride from one zone to another zone, I noticed that they weren't able to complete my request. And it does seem like you can only use Metro Micro within each zone. So if, for example, you're in the Compton Linwood area or other parts of Willowbrook, you would be able to take it to campus here since it's all within the same zone. All right, wrapping up the Metro section with some pros and cons. So some of the cons with Metro include needing to meet certain eligibility requirements. Maybe it's not always reliable with delays and maintenance issues. Sometimes it can take a little longer than driving, depending on where you're coming from, where you're going to. And then again, it may not be available in your area, such as the metro microzones I just mentioned, and then maybe not having as many metro stations or stops near you. However, there are some pros, which include being definitely more cost effective. And like I showed y'all, the train station is in walking distance from campus. And there is word that the campus is working on reinstating the shuttle service to bring students and staff members from the Rosa Parks station here to campus. But I'm sure once that is up and running, the university will make an announcement. And then lastly, it can provide time for other tasks like catching up on reading, studying, things like that. So before we move on, are there any questions or comments about Metro or the programs that we covered so far? I'll go ahead and check the chat. Okay, great. Now we will be discussing ways to save money if you drive to campus. One of those things that you can do is check your local gas station rates on apps like Gas Buddy. This app compares local gas prices, and you can even earn rewards through the app to redeem free gas points. You can also link your destinations so that you don't have to make multiple trips throughout the week when you run errands. So maybe stopping by the grocery store on your way home from school and before you get home. So you can kind of cut down on the amount of times that you have to go and use your car. You can also use reward points on credit cards and grocery reward programs, etc. I believe Vons and Ralph's partner with gas stations and have reward programs. You can also check out Turo and Zipcar for short-term car rental needs. These tend to be a little more affordable and flexible options than other car rental companies or even just using rideshare. Or you can offer to drive a carpool with others in exchange for gas money or rotating schedules, etc. And we'll be covering carpooling more in depth next. Um, but a final tip is to actually check with your car insurance and your insurance providers to see if they have any fuel reward programs. For example, if you are a AAA member, you can register for a fuel program that they have with Shell, and then you can receive discounts on gas. You can go ahead and scan the QR code if you are a AAA member or you're thinking about having AAA as your car insurance to learn a little bit more about that program, the fuel reward program. Before moving on, any questions about our driving option? Okay, great. So now moving on to our last option for today, carpool. Carpooling with your peers and colleagues is a great way to save money on gas by finding others to alternate driving to campus with. Now, of course, it is important that some ground rules be established if you decide to carpool with classmates or colleagues. And this includes anything from can you eat and drink in my car or respecting each other's times and schedules. If you're running behind, am I okay to start heading to campus? Um, and there's also other options if you can't find anybody to carpool with or don't feel comfortable. There are also these carpooling services like Ride Match, Metro Van Pool, and Enterprise Carpool. Now, of course, like with other options, there are perks and drawbacks to carpooling. Some of the perks are cost effectiveness. It can provide you time for other tasks. So if one person's driving, the other one could be studying and vice versa, taking turns on that. Obviously, making new friends and even networking opportunities. Some of the drawbacks are reliability, may not be available in your area or for your route, specifically, for these carpool services, or if even a classmate or colleague doesn't live nearby, it may not be flexible enough for certain schedules changing. Although if you do use Enterprise Carpool, they have a guaranteed ride home program. Any questions or comments about carpooling? Okay, great.
We have a question in the chat about AAA.
Okay, let me see. Okay, AAA. Do you know if the AAA one also includes people that have their roadside assistance? Yes, I believe it's for any AAA member. Um, is that what you mean? Just a general AAA member that has roadside assistance, or are there different?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think as long as you are a AAA member, and if you go on, if you, like I said, I'll provide that QR code, but I think there's like a short little application, or you just need to register, and then you would just maybe put your AAA member number in that registration, and then you should be good to go for that fuel reward program.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Great. Okay. So now that we have some transportation options in our back pocket, let's, discuss a couple ways where we can help fund your commute. The biggest thing that we suggest is to apply for scholarships, apply. And you can use that scholarship for gas, metro passes, or any other transportation related expenses. What you want to do first is just to make sure that your award is unrestricted, meaning that you can apply your scholarship towards anything like transportation, housing, food, etc. And so if you're interested in hearing more about those scholarships, you're going to want to talk to financial aid about any internal scholarships, or even adjusting your aid package to help pay for these commuting costs. You can also follow us here on Instagram at shaw.cdu for available scholarships. We love to post them occasionally, whether they're community scholarships, academic scholarships for students. You definitely want to check out our page when we post that. So now I have a question for you all. What tips and tricks do you all use when it comes to transportation? What are some other options that you would want to hear more about? You're more than welcome to share out or share in the chat. For example, my tip is to mix and match commute options. For example, I like to drive on Mondays to campus because I'm usually a little tired from the weekend, but then I'll use Metro to go to campus for the rest of the week. So if you would like to share, please, again, you can shout out or put it in the chat if you have any tips, or if you would like to hear about any other transportation options that you may have used or would like to know more about. So Brianna said, I map my errands and go to the places on the way home from school to save on gas and yeah, gas and time. Yes, that's a really good one. Thank you. I think after putting this presentation together, I'm very curious about Metro Micro, so I will definitely be looking into that a little more, especially if it's only $1 or $2 per ride. So great. Mariah said, I go to the cheapest gas station near my house, and some gas stations offer a lot cheaper gas if you get a car wash. Yes, that is a very good point there. I've done that a few times as well, too. Also, getting gas from grocery stores and reward points. Yes, Vons and Ralph's. All right. I'll be taking note of all the comments to kind of help um, create future programs as well too, and presentations because there's so many different options out there when it comes to commuting, and we only covered just a few today. So it looks like Dr. Jones took Metro for years, and it is a really great way to travel, especially if you can utilize the discount programs. Yes. And the programs on discount on gas. Yes. Well, thank you all so much for sharing. All right. And as promised, here are all of today's resources. So you can go ahead and scan the QR code, or you can type in this link here, and it'll take you to our link tree where you can find the resources from today under Getting to CDU Transportation, along with many of our other resources that Shaw shares with students, staff, and faculty. I'll give you all a moment to scan that. So I didn't upload the videos to this link. I'll make sure to do that right afterwards. So if you all wanted to watch those videos that unfortunately didn't work today, those will be available. All right. Does anybody have any questions or comments about today's presentation? I know there was a good amount covered, so please feel free to ask. And again, if I don't happen to know the answer, I'll definitely make note and then be sure to get back to you. So more than welcome to ask any questions before we wrap up. And also, if anybody is interested, we do have case management for students here. If you wanted to learn a little bit more about transportation options, anything from like CalFresh enrollment or housing options, childcare, you are always more than welcome to book a case management appointment with us. This is our contact information here. We have our email, phone number, and again, you can always follow us on Instagram. Well, great. Doesn't seem like there's any questions. If there are any lingering in the chat, I'll make sure to make note of that and reach out. Um, but thank you all so much for attending today's presentation. Like I said, we hope to hold a lot more of these informational presentations related to transportation and other resources for you all. So again, I'll make note of anything that was shared today to kind of help facilitate future presentations.